Welcome, Mikhail.
Yes, hi.
How are you? Good to
Good,
see
good.
you.
Very good.
Thanks for coming. And
Sure.
I was talking with all the students that we're happy to have you here. I know that it was maybe a short notice,
Yes.
but we were talking on Saturday with Mikhail, and he was telling me that he would like to share a little bit more with students also how to plan ahead on a career development plan, right?
Mhm.
So, with his experience and expertise in helping a lot of international students to do this, so I'm very excited. We're going to have this is going to be a two-session uh, event. Today is going to be the first one with all of you that were able to come, even though the short notice, and also we're going to have a second one next week. So without further ado, please, Mikhail, take it away.
Yes, Eric, thank you for the kind introduction. Uh, I am an immigration lawyer, and we have a mobile app. So in the Valley, we want to do things a little differently. Speed up the communication process. So we have a mobile app, and we take immigration calls and chats through the app. Like 24/7. Now we just have a small office in Nepal, and we have lawyers with experience in immigration answering our inquiries at night, when we're asleep too. So I just wanted to have, so how long, like, we're going to have a little longer session next time, right?
Yes.
So today, so how many, like, I would put 20-30 minutes. I will just, say a couple of things, I guess, or less.
Okay.
Oh,
We were planning for 20 to 30 minutes, and then maybe a Q&A. And next session we're going to have a little bit more.
okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So I just wanted to. I prepared my dry erase board in case I need to draw something. But let's talk about like career development, right? So once you have a degree, I'm sure every single one of you have some kind of a plan, and we can discuss your plans and think of from the immigration strategy and standpoint, right? Maybe you want to know something, maybe you just want to if there are any questions, or perhaps I'm sure I can bring a lot of value and just explain to you how the process works from the standpoint of immigration. And then, like everyone, you guys all know about OPT. So there are, that what we can get OPTs. Then, in your case, you can get a STEM OPT, you can get an extension. But what comes afterwards? How to do? Because our ultimate goal is a green card, right? And then let's do it in with the green highlighter. So our ultimate goal is a green card. But how do we get from OPT and graduation to a green card? What comes in between? Can we jump directly to a green card? Many people and students think that, well, I first need to get an H1B, right? I first need to get an H1B. This is true, but then the H1B, even acceptance rate is about 25%. So what that means that there is an H-1B lottery, and always there are so many issues with getting H-1B not just filed. It's hard to get an employer to file H-1B, but also there are issues with getting it accepted. So what many students do, they use the OPT and STEM OPT uh, option, and while they are getting the H-1B filed. So, but then there are many other options that would be here throughout the process, we can do, a J1 and maybe O1 for some people, but this is the most common one in H1B. And if the applicants are from any other country except for India and China, then there is an option to go from OPT directly to a green card. So please, thank you, Savita, for your question. Please write questions in the chat here so I can respond. And also,
actually, Mikhail, whatever you are showing on the display, it's not visible properly. So I just wanted to check with the Priyanka if you can show full screen because your screen is in the block, so we not able to see your writing, whatever you're writing.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's going to be even worse. So, Priyanka or Eric, if you know how to fix it,
Mikhail, maybe you can share your screen.
Oh, okay. Well, but I don't have it on the screen actually because this is a video.
Also what we have, there is a possibility that we can create a whiteboard. If you go to the three dots,
yeah.
If you go below to the three dots, you're going to find whiteboard.
There is also one more option, like we are seeing the tiles of everyone over the screen. So what we can do is towards the right, there is three dots. If we click there, there is a layout change option. So if we change the layout to the one who is speaking, his or her video, then whoever is speaking, he is on the full screen. So that is what I did.
Oh, that's
Is it in
great.
Google Meet? Is it in Google Meet? I can.
Yes.
Okay.
I am in Google Meet over the browser.
Let me share my screen so you can see where to find it.
Because when I put the I just started a new whiteboard, then I need to share it individually with everyone apparently.
I can see. Yeah, I can. I changed the setting. I can see now. Full screen of Mikhail.
Okay, so you do that here. Change layout.
Ah, okay.
And you put spotlight.
Spotlight. Okay.
Yes, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
I just did. I can see now.
Okay, great.
Now, there's a lot of glare, I think, right? It's much better like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yes, Savita, thank you for your comment. So I OPT, STEM OPT, H1B, J1, and a green card option. So far, are there any questions? Anything you want to ask or add or comment on?
Yes, Mikhail, I have a question here. So there is a PhD or DBA program which ITU offers as well, and they only offer it under J1 for now. So it is not for F1 or H1. I mean H1B of course can do that course, but it's majorly if the student is coming for that course, they give it J1. So I wanted to check, for example, here in US there is different categories. For example, masters and then bachelors and then PhDs. They move in parallel queues when it comes to the green card process. And because there are lesser people in PhD, so that queue happens to be processed faster. So I wanted to know if this program under ITU, which offers J1, if someone is doing a PhD from here, maybe if the person is under H1B and they're just doing PhD from IT with their job, so will that PhD queue be applicable to that applicant as well, or he or she will just remain in the master's queue?
Okay. Yeah. So good question. So we for green card categories, we have EB1, Eb2, Eb3, and then we also have Eb4 and Eb5, but they're not applicable here, so we're not going to talk about them. Master's category is, do you know, Sonal, which one is master's category?
I think Eb3 or Eb2, not sure.
So yeah, it's actually Eb2.
Okay.
Eb2 is master's, and then Eb3 is
Bachelor's?
bachelor's. Yeah, exactly. Bachelor's or no degree. It could be
Okay.
Eb3. So first, this question is only an issue for students from India and China. If it's not from India and China, then Eb3 will work just fine. It's all current, meaning like we can get a green cards right away. For students from India in China, it's important to have, there is a difference between Eb2 and Eb3. Now, Eb1, you can just do a quick Google search, but what is, Sonal, do you know what Eb1 is for?
Yeah, and that is for the PhD students come under Eb1. And also if I guess there is someone working in the executive position in a company, they'll also come under Eb1. So that is faster processing towards green card process.
Yeah, so there is no like Eb1. So first, in order to have like Eb2 or Eb3, you have a job and you have a degree. These are that's all that is required for these categories, job and degree. Eb1 is a little different. Eb1, it's for executives, is some extraordinary ability people. Eb1 is also for outstanding professors and researchers. So Eb1 is the category where you don't just have a job and a degree and get a green card, but it has to be more than a PhD. So
Okay.
we filed Ev1 visas for PhDs. And yes, this is a great way to get a green card when you have a PhD and you're from India. So the other categories are going to take a long time. But it has to be more than just a PhD. It has to be something exceptional. So with researchers and professors, it doesn't have to be extraordinary or exceptional. It has to be outstanding. So, and what is outstanding? What would you call outstanding?
Maybe some innovation or great research or some good publications, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first, in order to be outstanding, like, how do you think, can you be outstanding during the first months after the graduation?
Not really, I guess maybe towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end. What number would you put? How many years, after how many years do you think you can be outstanding?
I think at least 3.
Exactly. So actually, your thinking is the same as the U.S. Congress. So it's a 3 years of at least 3 years of experience. 3 years of experience as a doing research, teaching. At least 3 years of experience, and then there has to be some international recognition, some articles, some publications, some maybe awards, conferences that you're a judge of certain panels or some competitions. So I will give you a quick example of a PhD person, of a PhD professor that we did. So the woman was from from like a South America, not from Mexico, but from South America, like Colombia, Venezuela, one of those countries. And she had about 20 actual books on the education, education, but not education in the US, but education in Spanish, for all those countries in South America. And she was outstanding. Okay, between us, she wasn't really outstanding. She was just a regular professor that writes books. you know, but for the USCIS purposes, she wrote a lot. She was a specialist in the field. She wasn't like, you know, she would giving some interviews on the television or nothing like that. She was just, you know, teaching. She had over 20 years of teaching experience, and she was teaching. She was writing articles. She was writing books. She had a PhD in education, so she was an EB1. So that's just in short. Having a PhD alone probably would not work as an EB1 green card application. But then you get a PhD, you have a good job with some, you know, maybe big company. Then it's worth a shot. But even then, you would want to first get an H1B or a J1, work for a couple of years, and then try applying for this category.
Okay, so I actually wanted to know specifically in terms of ITU. So the DBA programs which are offered here, which only offer J1 visa status, so are they also applicable? I mean, to come under this category of EB1, if you know, like you mentioned, there are good publications, good number of experience, and something exceptional,
Yeah.
then will those candidates be considered like from any other institute, because a lot of colleges or universities provide you know, F1s for the PhD candidates as well. So that's why I was a little confused if it is just a J1 you know, visa status providing kind of a DBA program. In that case also, will it be applicable or not?
So J1 or F1 doesn't matter. Research and
Okay,
teaching, that's what matters.
I see. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Research, teaching, and then once you get a green card, you need to show that you keep working as a teacher, as a professor with that university or with any other school. But you know, you need to show that teaching and being a professor is your lifelong passion, if you wish, you know, because obviously in the example that I just gave you, there was clear that this person would not go and work as a QA analyst or software developer after she was getting that green card. She would keep teaching because that's who she is. She's a lifelong tenured professor, so she's a professor. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Now, this is on about EB1. You have this teaching, but then there is also EB1 extraordinary ability category. PhD works, but let's say you have a PhD and then you start working for a big company or a small company. It could be a startup, but you're doing something exceptional. You know, I'll just put an exclamation point. You know, something really cool. Then you don't have to have a 3 years of experience, not necessarily, but you know, it has to be something really important. If you have a startup that raised a lot of money, and then by a lot, I don't know, maybe $1 million is enough, and your company is growing, or you work for a startup that is growing very quickly, and you are there making a lot of money, or have a lot of shares in that startup. Then with the PhD is a good paper to have from ITU. Not a paper, I'm sorry, but like a diploma. So yeah, then EB1 would work for that purpose as well. So far, yeah. So yeah, I'm seeing Shraddha. The question is, do we have to have a teaching experience in USA? India teaching experience that works or does not work. So in my example that I just gave you, the woman actually did not teach in the US. All her teaching experience came from Latin America, but she was internationally recognized because her books were translated into English. She was one of the leading experts in that field because she couldn't even speak English. She could not speak English. She could only speak Spanish. So to answer your question, teaching experience in any country counts.
Mikhail, I have a question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have a question regarding the OPTs and I-20s. What is the connection exactly between OPT and I-20? So like when I didn't have F1 approved, I had to request for I-20 every trimester start date, and then I had to keep it with me. It was not required to submit to USCIS. But now after this final trimester, what will be the requirement for I-20? Is it required for even after getting a job? I don't know exactly what is the connection.
So every university is different. This is something that I think you want to ask Conchita. She would know better than me what's required for I-20.
If we are talking about the I-20s, it's not required to have every trimester updated. Just if you're changing a CPT employer, right? If you're changing, then yes, you need. But the connection between a CPT or OPT, it's towards your degree or status. If you're on an F1, you need to have an I-20, but the I-20 is giving you the status. The F1 visa is just to get into the country, and then to maintain your status as a student after you graduate, you need a valid F1. And in that regards, you need to have an internship to keep current. Just correct me if I'm wrong there, Mikhail, please.
Yeah. That's exactly how it is.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's we can talk about questions like that, about issues similar to this one, and then next time I would like to just discuss how to talk with your employer about filing H1B, what documents to prepare, how to maybe at which step to approach that question at the interview, or just start working and then bring it up. Just I'll give you some examples how to switch jobs if you have an H1B, how to maybe switch jobs when you have OPTs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In fact, we had a few of that questions previously in the previous training that we had about right now in the Career Center. We're hosting a series of talks about how to apply to get a job and how to do all the process, since what type of positions somebody can apply, how to do the resume, how to do the LinkedIn page to be relevant and get inbounds as well. And then also at the end is how to apply and be efficient with the application process, because it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Exactly. So we will talk about what to put in the resume from the immigration status perspective. That's important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also we can touch on recruiters, technical recruiters, right? So that would be something interesting, because I will just tell you about my experience working with recruiters, just a little bit from the inside information on how they work and how IT staffing agencies work, contractor subcontractor situation, how it affects OPTs and H1Bs. We can talk about that. And so next Tuesday, right, we can just connect. Please, just tell your other students, colleagues that can join. We can discuss that, discuss your questions. And one more time, I just texted our website, Skylex Immigration Lawyer. So
And just also, I wanna let everybody know that just recently, last week, Skylex got a prize. It was a recognition as the best app on legal immigrations or legal law.
yeah,
You can tell us a little bit better
yeah.
about
I will put a
prize.
video together on YouTube and I will send it to you. Yeah, but we are doing a lot of fun with this, and we just want to have legal services available quickly, 24/7. If there's any question, people can ask, and we quickly connect them with lawyers. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. And if we don't have any more questions, I think that we can wrap up, and we're gonna meet here in the same place at the same time next week.
Eric, I have a
One more
last
question. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, congratulations, Mikhail, for the recognition and the award.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I wanted to check with you uh, over OPT status or in H1B. Are we legally allowed to work for more than 40 hours a week with or without the knowledge of one or both the employers?
Yeah. So there are many factors, to this question. I guess first would be on H1B. Yes, you are allowed to work more than 40 hours a week, but you need to be compensated. So if you just work for several employers, you have H1B or OPT, and you work for 2 employers at the same time, remotely or in office, you just need to be compensated. But then the other thing is about the like a sanction, right? What can you do if an employer makes you work more than 40 hours a week? There's not much you can do other than just quitting that employment. Just a complaint may work, but it just will take you a long time. But you can work, and then if you work for different employers for more than 40 hours a week and get compensated for all that, this is totally fine. It's not like somebody will catch you and then will ask you to return the money back. It's just a matter of filing another petition, H1B petition. But on OPT, it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, great. So in both the visa status, we can, if we are able to manage, we can legally.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
the key. You said if you're able to manage. If you're
Yeah.
able to manage it. Yeah, that's when you get 2 W2s. Your employer will not know about it, and your tax advisor will not be surprised either. So, the more money you make, the more taxes you pay, the better.
For the government.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Okay, we had a question raised
We
hand.
have Bhupinder. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Mikhail, I believe on H1B, we can only work for one employer, isn't it? I'm not. Can you please clarify?
So yes, on H1B you can only work for one employer. H1B is an employer specific application. On OPT you can work for several employers. On H1B you can only work for one employer. So with that said, you have an employer A that filed an H1B for you. So you can work for 40 hours here. What happens if you find a second employer, employer B? All you need to do is just to have employer B file a part-time H1B for you.
Is there a
Okay.
part-time H1B?
part-time H1B. And this will make you employment authorized, and you can work for 2 employers.
Okay.
So under one H1B, you can work for 1 employer. But
Okay.
in order to work for 2 employers, it has to be a second H1B application.
Okay, so under the second employer, we can only work for 20 hours a week at the max.
No, so here's this. You go deep into the weeds now, but when we file a second H1B, this is our trick. Within our law firm, what we do, we just put 20 to 35 hours. We put a range.
Okay.
And when we put a range, you never know how many hours you really worked, and then the government approves. USCIS approves these petitions, and you can, maybe it's 35, maybe 20. Nobody knows and nobody cares.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
You said, I like the way you said it. You said if you're able to manage, manage
Yeah,
40 hours here.
not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can manage and not get fired by the second job or first job, then do it.
Okay.
Yes, Mikhail, if we do lose our first job, which has a full-time H1B, are we authorized to live in the US on part-time H1B? How does that
Yes. Good question. Yes. Yes.
We can stay. Okay.
Yes. So you want to keep. So there are different things, because when you file H1B, there are different buttons there. But if this H1B was filed and approved as against the cap, right? It's a cap H1B. It's not a cap exempt H1B, right? It's a commercial company H1B. Employer A. Then employer B will carry you over. I would just file an amended petition and switch from part-time to full-time. When employer A terminates the employment agreement, essentially.
Is it easily converted into full-time H1B?
Oh yeah. It's what the filing fee very easily converted, very easily.
Okay.
Okay, and I think in such cases, mostly we will have to, take a help from some attorney from our side, because I doubt the recruiter's attorney will help.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. That's why I have a job, because it's so complicated.
Yeah.
Definitely you want to talk to me and see what the best strategy is.
Yeah.
So,
And Mikhail, in case, for example, a person is under OPT, right? And then he or she applies for H1B from these 2 companies they're working in. And let's say if from both the companies, the H1B, is being picked up for that particular person. So in that case, is it possible that one of the H1B he makes as full-time and the other one as part-time, or do he or she need to apply it the next year?
So both are being picked up, you said?
Yeah.
So it's again, I see, you know the process well and how it works. So yes, this can happen. This is a good strategy, good idea to have both employers file the visa.
Okay.
I think you can even file both full-time.
I see.
But then it's a good question. It's a very, very narrow scenario, right? But if you file one full-time, the other one part-time, yeah, that would work 100%, and then you get picked up. Yeah, but maybe you file. What you want to do possibly in this scenario: file one premium processing, and the second one regular.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for answering all
Okay,
these
so-
questions.
I have a client from Nepal today come by, and then they give me this hat, so I just wanted to show it to you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Nice.
So, really cool.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I have one question, Mikhail.
Okay.
can we file the amended application for converting to H1B from part-time anytime during the year, or is it only during the filing time?
Yeah, good question. Anytime. It can be filed for Christmas too. Anytime. Once you have a H1B cap exempt, it can be filed anytime. But okay, anytime meaning right after your employment situation changed. So right after that, you don't want to file it a year later. Meaning it can be filed anytime at any moment. Well, any year. It's not in April, but it needs to be filed timely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll see each other again next week.
Yeah, and I'm
Absolutely.
sure a lot of your future clients are going to be from these calls, because I'm sure a lot of us could be in these situations in future, and we would definitely require you there.
Yeah. Download the app, take a look,
Yes.
and
Sure.
would also be curious to see your feedback, and please leave a review, and then
Definitely.
that would be really good. And then if you leave a review, we will do a free one-on-one consultation too. Okay.
There you go.
Awesome.
Now we're
Great.
talking.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you so much,
give a
Mikhail.
review. Take care, guys. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. Mikhail, take care.